Hello and welcome to the Papyrus TV Africa News Update. I am Christiana Babayo, but before we begin, the headlines. Lawmaker clarifies cut in constituency project allocation. Report shows female representation growing in police force. Minister speaks on factors behind his appointment. 2 killed in train tricycle collision in Plateau. And now the news in full. House leadership and senior legislators explained that President Bola Tinubu's revision of the constituency project allocation from 1 billion to 500 million per lawmaker was driven by fiscal prudence and the need for more equitable national development, Representative Benjamin Kalu Gagdi told reporters. Gagdi said the reduction was aimed at widening the reach of federal resources to more communities while ensuring projects are realistic, implementable and less susceptible to corruption or abandonment. He noted that smaller, well-monitored projects can deliver tangible benefits faster than fewer, larger-scale interventions that often stall. The move comes amid intense scrutiny of public spending and demands from civil society for improved budget transparency. Lawmakers supporting the revision argued that the aggregate national impact of more distributed allocations would be greater provided robust oversight mechanisms are enforced. A senior gender advisor has disclosed that women now represent approximately 12% of the entire Nigeria police force, a figure that policymakers say mark progress but still falls short of gender parity goals. Speaking at a security sector gender forum, the advisor highlighted recent recruitment drives and targeted gender mainstreaming initiatives within training institutions as contributing factors. Still, she warned that retention, promotion, and the inclusion of women in operational and leadership roles remain persistent challenges that require sustained policy attention. Officials say the government is pursuing measures to increase female representation at all levels of policing, including accelerated leadership training, family-friendly personnel policies, and reforms to ensure a harassment-free workplace. Civil society groups welcomed the progress but urged quicker implementation of affirmative measures to reach minimum international benchmarks. Senior lawyer and Minister Festus Keyamo has publicly attributed his ministerial appointment to President Bola Tinubu, partly to his Christian background, saying that the president considered faith credentials alongside competence when making choices for national service. In remarks to journalists, Keyamo framed his appointment as recognition of his broad coalition of Nigeria's diverse faith communities and argued that representation across religious lines strengthens national cohesion. He cautioned, however, that the appointments must be ultimately judged by performance and service delivery rather than identity alone. Kenyamo's comments reignite debates about the role of religion in public appointments, a sensitive topic in the country where religious identity often intersects with regional and political affiliation. Observers say the minister's framing is likely aimed at reassuring religious constituencies while signaling loyalty to the president's political coalition. 2 people, a tricycle operator and one of his passengers, were killed after a moving train collided with a vehicle in Plateau State, police and eyewitnesses confirmed. The incident occurred on a rural crossing where the tricycle attempted to cross active tracks. Local authorities said the tragedy underscores ongoing safety gaps at informal and insufficiently protected level crossings outside urban areas. Residents and transport unions called for immediate installation of warning signals, barriers and community awareness campaigns to prevent further loss of lives. Emergency responders recovered the bodies and conveyed them to the state mortuary, while the railway authority launched an investigation into the circumstances surrounding the collision. The state government has appealed for calm and pledged to fast-track safety upgrades at vulnerable crossings. We will now go on a short break, and when we come back, the news will continue. Stay tuned.
The Papyrus Global, we don't just cover events, we create cinematic experiences. From red carpets to birthdays, gala dinners, and your fairy tale weddings, we bring your moments to life with high-tech precision. Our gadgets are smarter, our lenses sharper, and our team simply world-class. Trust the Papyrus Global to tell your story in the boldest, brightest way possible.
Welcome back, and now the news will continue. President Bola Tinubu has formally requested the House of Representatives' approval to raise 1.15 trillion naira from external and domestic sources to finance a portion of the 2025 budget deficit and to refinance maturing obligations, official correspondences show. The executives argued that the loan would shore up physical space, preserve critical projects under the Renewed Hope agenda, and stabilize macroeconomic management, while the National Assembly indicated it will subject the request to rigorous scrutiny and attach conditions safeguarding transparency and debt sustainability. Fiscal policy experts urged the legislature to demand clear disbursement plans, cost-benefit analysis, and repayment strategies to ensure that borrowing supports productive investment rather than recurrent spending. The House Committee on Finance said hearings with the Finance Ministry and Debt Management Office would commence immediately. Prominent human rights lawyer Femi Falana SAN has criticized former US President Donald Trump's remarks and policy stances, saying they reflect contempt for Africans and noting a pattern that reportedly targeted South Africa before shifting attention toward Nigeria. Falana argued that inflammatory rhetoric and punitive diplomatic gestures risk polarizing international relations and could hinder cooperative efforts to tackle terrorism and transnational crime. He urged Nigerian leaders to respond with coordinated diplomacy and legal measures to protect the country's image and sovereignty. The remarks come amid wider debate over the U.S. redesignation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern and comments by international figures that have intensified scrutiny of Nigeria's security record. Falana called for a robust documentation and legal responses to counter what he termed mischaracterizations of Nigeria's complex security landscape. The Rural Access and Agricultural Marketing Project (RAM) in partnership with state authorities formally flagged off the 31 billion naira Zobe Phase 1B water supply project, a major intervention designed to extend potable water access to underserved rural and communities and strengthen regional water security. Officials say the project will deliver new water treatment, transmission and distribution of infrastructure to thousands of households and boost agricultural productivity by providing reliable water for irrigation. The work is expected to create jobs during construction and ongoing operations. Development partners stress the importance of community arrangements and sustainable maintenance arrangements to ensure the long-term viability of the system. The government emphasized that the project aligns with broader efforts to meet Millennium Development Goals on water access and curb rural-urban migration by improving living standards in the countryside. And that's all we have on the Papyrus TV Africa News Update. I am Christiana Babayo. Thanks for joining us.